Good morning, fam. It's me again, coming to you with another episode of my life experiences with Yahuwah. And today, I want to talk about a saying that I've heard all of my life, but I've never understood until now. And it comes from Amos, the 3rd chapter, and the 3rd verse. How can two walk together except they agree? Now the 4th verse. Does a lion roar in the forest when he has no prey? Does a young lion give forth his voice out of his den unless he is caught? Does a bird fall into a snare on the earth where there is no trap for it? Does a snare spring up from the earth if it has not captured prey? I can tell you right now that after reading those verses in Amos, I was totally confused and had no idea of what it was saying to me. However, just like the Bible says, study to show yourself approved unto God, a workman that needed not be ashamed, rightfully dividing the word of truth. Now at that time, I was trying to figure out what it was that made a good marriage. And I knew that the two people had to be on one accord, but I just didn't know how they would achieve that. So in this dilemma, Yah took the opportunity to teach me a valuable lesson. It seemed very simple to me. When two people come together, all they had to do was like the same thing, talk about the same thing, and love doing the same thing together for the rest of their lives. Unfortunately, that was far from the truth. But from reading the Word, I learned that there was another side to this. A spiritual side, something that you couldn't see with your natural eyes. And that is why the scripture said in Ephesians, the 6th chapter, in the 12th verse, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Now what I understood from this verse may be something that most people don't think about, but I realized that there's a spirit behind every person. It's either the spirit of Yahuwah or the spirit of Satan. So that told me that we do not have our own original thoughts. They are supplied to us either from Yahuwah or from Satan and his minions. And what I mean by that is the only thing that we have as human beings is free will. Our will to either do what Yah wants us to do or to do what Satan and his minions want us to do. I want you to really think about this. How many times that we have made bad decisions in our lives when we listen to that voice in our head told us to go ahead and do it just because we could. But at the same time, we drowned out that still quiet voice that told us, you know better than that. You know that it's wrong what you're about to do or about to say. Think about it. I'll give you an even better example. You know how you see a sister or a brother going in the wrong direction, and you've already been there, and you've already experienced what the end result will be? And then you have a dilemma in your mind, because everything depends on whether you like the person or not. One mind tells you, hey, let them experience it. Let them fall. Let them go through the hard times. Because you had to do it, so why should you help anybody else? Because no one helped you. And then the other thought would say, you know, I can help this person. I can help them avoid what it was that I had to go through, so that they don't have to go through it. Those are the two thoughts. Neither thought belonged to you. One belonged to Yah, and one belonged to Satan and his minions. And all you're left with is the will to make a choice as to which one you will do. One thing I've noticed that has been consistent through the scriptures is every person had to make a choice of his own free will. And I could quote many instances in the scriptures where we are told to choose. Choose ye this day whom you will serve. Will it be Yah, or will it be Mammon? We are told to choose life over death. Because we have free will, everything that happens to us happens because of the choices that we make. We don't have the ability to set what the choices are, because they've already been outlined for us in the word of a Yahuwah. The only thing that we can do is to make a choice, or make a decision, as some people would say. And those of us who think that we can be a shade tree mechanic or a lawyer by saying I won't make a choice, well, I'm sorry to inform you that not making a choice is a choice. So what lesson did I learn from this exercise that Yah took me through? I'll tell you. I learned not to look at people anymore. We're not wrestling against flesh and blood. So now, what I do is I look at the spirit that is using the person, and I concentrate my efforts on that spirit. And I speak to that spirit that is using the person, even though they are allowing that to happen. According to the word of Yah, I can bind that evil spirit through his son, Yahusha. That is why in his word, he says to try the spirit. Never once did he say to try the person. He always said to try the spirit, that you can know whether it's good or evil. And the second thing I learned is that if the two spirits do not agree, according to Amos 3:3, then it will not work. You would be unequally yoked, according to the scriptures. Well, fam, we've come to the end of another life lesson. And I ask you to continue to pray for me as I will continue to pray for you. In all our getting, I pray that we get an understanding to Yahweh's word. And until next week, may Yahuwah bless you and keep you.